Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another trading session. Well, it is September, and I hope you're doing well. I hope your August month ended well as well, and I hope that you eventually took a break. This August is just like me. I didn't trade anything. I just streamed once. It was my last stream, and yeah, I did nothing about trading. I just kept disciplined, and yeah, it's that old same story that tell us that usually the month of August is a low probability month. So if we want to work on that, yeah, we probably will get hurt. I know that there was some good days, but yeah, most likely the probabilities of having a good day, it's not that good. So it's not likely that August will give you good days. It's more likely that it will be or a crap day, a crap month. I mean, so yeah, September initiated, and yeah, what a dump on pre-New York session. As you can see here, price already dumped a lot since London. It expanded on London, and it expanded, continue its expansion to the downside pre New York Open. So yeah, what am I expecting? I don't know if you saw my last stream. If you go there and take a look at my last stream, I talked about a three drives pattern on the stream. I pointed these three highs here: the first one, the second one, and the third one. Whenever you have new highs, but these new highs are not that energetic like something like this. It's just a small new high, you know. It's just it's a shy new high, you know. Whenever you have this, you have to remind yourself that probably price is going for a large retrace. And yeah, I'm expecting September, since we are now inside September, and since we are beginning a new month, I expect it to be bearish, honestly. We have sell side liquidity here. If you take a look into NASDAQ, you can see that we have, on higher time frames, we have an S&T here, as you can see. So NASDAQ did not, it was not able to make a new high. So it respected this bearish fair value gap. It formed a bearish order block, and now it's trying to get lower, reaching for this sell side liquidity here, eventually this sell side liquidity here as well. So yeah, I'm expecting price to dump a little bit here for the next couple of days. So my bearish for the next couple of my bias, I mean, for the next couple of days is kind of bearish, because we need to mitigate all this liquidity, eventually retrace back to these levels here as well, because we still need to visit. Let me just check here. Discount. We are in a premium on the higher time frames, and we need to take just a glimpse into this discount before eventually heading higher once again. So my game plan for September will eventually be a bearish game plan. And yeah, same thing on ES, since yeah, they behave quite similarly. So it's just a matter of time to see which one will eventually dump harder. I believe NQ will dump harder, since it was not able to make a new high, and yes, will eventually follow NQ. So it has the same liquidity point here as these relative equal lows. It has the same imbalances here as well. So yeah, I'm expecting price to come a little bit lower, eventually rebalancing all this, and yeah, taking a peek into discount as well. So this this might be my plan for the next couple of days, eventually weeks. I don't know. I don't know how long price will take to go this further, but yeah, that's what I'm expecting eventually for the next couple of days. For today's action, yeah, that's, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable trading whenever London expands like this, and whenever you have an expansion just like this pre pre New York Open. So this really tests my capabilities of trading, because I really I, I will not search for longs in this type of environment. I don't think that it will be a plus setup for longs, since we still have liquidity here below. So I would wait eventually for some type of a retrace into maybe an order block, or eventually um, or maybe eventually into this inefficiency area here, and I don't know, into lower time frames, try to search for something that would give us some type of a breaker or something like that. So I believe price will go a little bit to the upside, but as soon as we enter here the inefficiency area, it can eventually come here to these relative equal highs as well. So but I will not take this move to the upside. I'm not comfortable seeking for internal liquidity from external to internal. So yeah, I would eventually wait for a bearish setup instead of a long setup here. I know that it will probably not give me anything bearish on on the New York AM session, since price already did a large movement to the downside. Yeah, but I'm willing to accept it and eventually take only something tomorrow, or I don't know. I will not play the New York PM session as well. So yeah, I think this session will end up being a tape read session only, since I'm not comfortable seeking for longs in this type of environment. I know this kind of this place here with these relative equal highs, they yeah, they can act as a good drawn liquidity, but I'm not comfortable taking a long here when price is looking bearish on a higher time frame. So that's why. So yeah, guys, I think that's my plan for the next couple of days. This session may end up like a tape read session only. As you can see here, we are increasing the volatility of price action. As you can see here, we are playing with almost 10 handle candles. So keep that in mind, that you need to be aware of this volatility environment, volatile environment, and yeah, don't try to go aggressive on things like this, because you can burn yourself and you can burn your account quite easily when the market just does 10 handles in a couple of seconds. So if you look into NQ since the open, let me just check. Yeah, in in a matter of in a matter of 9 minutes, NQ already did about 130 handles. So keep that in mind. You really have to be aware of the type of volatility that we are um, starting to get once again, since we left August, and August is it's typically a low volatility, a low volume month. So keep that in mind, that things switched a bit, and yeah, it can be it can be hard to navigate in conditions like this. So keep that in mind, and don't try to force anything. I think that's the main message is not to force anything here, and yeah, just try to look for your edge and be be mindful of it, and really be patient about your setup, and don't try to get into something because you see that the market it's volatile and it will run 100, 100 or 200 handles in the next couple of minutes. So um, keep in mind that we will have some 9:45 and 10 a.m. news as well. So hands off before these news events. So yeah, let's just watch these candles print and see what we if we can work with something in these conditions, or if the market wants to just punish everybody who's trying to to engage with it. But yeah, on a larger point of view, on a larger scale, I would say that I'm bearish for the next couple of days. Um, I would only be um, I would only be back to a bullish bias if I don't know if price somehow could eventually manage to take out London highs and eventually stay above these highs once again for another run to the upside. Um, but I don't think that's likely to happen, honestly. So for now, I will maintain my bearish bias, and yeah, the next couple of days we'll search for bearish scenarios and bearish type of trades. So yeah, guys, 9:30 open just happened. As I was saying, quite volatile environment. The 9:30 candle on ES just managed to do 11 handles, so that's significant for ES. And right now we have some SMT on the upside in between ES and NQ. So NQ was able to take out these highs. Right now it's staying above them. Um, it's above. I believe I don't think it's above, or isn't it? Yeah, it peaked above. It peaked above 8:30 open, but was not able to close above it. So price on NQ somewhere here. So quite a divergence in between NQ and MES. So yeah, let's wait a bit more. Let's wait for for news as well to see how the news events will impact price action, and then if we manage to find something to work with, yeah, great. If not, it's great, because as soon as I open the charts, some about 1 or 2 hours before the open, and I saw that price dumped a lot in between London and pre New York Open. Yeah, I just put my expectations to the side, and yeah, I was not expecting to trade today. So it's the first day for a long pause as well. So yeah, I'm just chilling, take things slowly, and yeah, and wait for a good opportunity, not trying to rush into the markets on the first day, and the first day of of September, because yesterday it was a bank holiday, so it didn't count as a regular trading day. Yeah, and keep in mind that this week we will also have NFP, so it's an NFP week as well. So a lot of liquidity will be generated in between Tuesday to Friday as well, and keep that in mind. So if you expect a big move or something like that in between Tuesday and Friday, yeah, it can happen, of course, but it's not that probable that it will happen. So the probability is not that kind of big market to move like a big move, do like a big move. So yes, just ranging here, nothing to work with. NQ starting to try to run to the upside. I believe we will go a little bit to the upside because we still have some stops here, especially here next these relative equal highs, to be eventually purged and to be punished, because a lot of people is making money. If those guys who opened a short in between London, they are still making money. So I believe the market will eventually punish these guys first, and then seek for lower prices. Usually, that's what happens. So we will wait and see what will happen. So the first news driver was already released. So PMI, it didn't impact the price action. So we were kind of sideways here. So market stayed sideways, and yeah, this is one of the first signals that it can be a tricky New York AM session. Whenever you have a first presented fair value gap that is pierced to the downside, pierced to the upside, it's the market. It's kind of acting like there's no such thing as a first presented fair value gap right now. So whenever you have this type of behavior from price action, yeah, we might face a hard session. So you want to see, what do you want to see when price hits the first presented fair value gap? It's like a clean retrace, not a, okay, I will go below the first presented fair value gap, then I will go to the upside, and then once again to the downside, to the upside. You don't want to see that kind of price action. What you want to see, it's something like this, or I don't know, or eventually multiple touches, then followed by by a move, and not these types of zigzags inside the first presented fair value gap. So yeah, right now seems like ES is trying to prepare a move to the upside, just like expected. Since the beginning, I said that I would not engage with any longs in here because despite we already moved a lot to the downside, we still have some major sell side liquidity here down below, and I would rather take something up here to the downside than eventually something like this. This would eventually take a lot of time. So I believe that it will probably not work on the New York AM session. It will probably not happen on the New York AM session, the short that I'm looking for. But yeah, I'm content with it anyways. So right now, I was expecting a move to the upside. It is happening. So great. NQ is it's a bit cleaner and stronger right now. So let it run. I don't mind to let these things run. It's just searching, and eventually it will search for these relative equal highs, like I was telling you about. So yeah, I rather I rather wait for a move down, an A plus setup down, because my main bias is kind of bearish on the high time frames, uh, than to look for these types of longs. As you can see here, the only entry that we have here is a first presented fair value gap, and even if you took an entry inside a first presented fair value gap, you would place eventually your stop right here, below these candles, and you would been almost been taken out of the trade. So for me, there's no entry here. Not the same on NQ, since NQ was a bit cleaner. It took some measure of sell side. It formed like a breaker and respected the breaker, so it was way cleaner on NQ than on ES, as you can see here. See, so this was the 930 open. This is I would say this is the accumulation. It's the accumulation. It doesn't need to be horizontal. It can happen as a diagonal accumulation. So this is the accumulation. Um, yeah. So this was the accumulation. This was the manipulation to the downside, taking this sell side liquidity here, and then the distribution to the upside, eventually taking out these highs and stretching it a little bit more. We can eventually come for these highs as well on NQ. So it was way cleaner here. I would say that this is the breaker. here on AQ. It never got retested here. You can eventually consider another breaker, a higher breaker here, and this one was kind of retested here to the tick. Your entry could eventually be here with your stop loss below this second breaker, something like this, targeting the expansion. As you can see, it would be a large stop loss, a 48 handle stop loss, but you would have a minimum drawdown. On NQ, it was a plus setup, but not on MES, as you can see here. So kind of messy. Really didn't like how price just didn't give us that clean breaker. But yeah, I'm expecting these relative equal highs to be taken, honestly. So let's just wait and see. Yeah, price is still running here. So the plan is to wait for price to run eventually these stops that were being placed here above these relative equal highs, and then after it, look for something like a plus setup to the downside, because we still have some liquidity on ES despite NQ taking it already. So let's just wait. I will mark the 950 macro. So 950 macro here on ES, 952, 1010. This is the first macro. So usually these types of moves, whenever there is liquidity, the draw is quite kind of clean. These moves tend to extend from one macro to another macro. So I believe we can eventually wait for price to end its run about 11 o'clock in the morning. And after 11 o'clock in the morning, the short setup may eventually appear. So yeah, let's see. Right now, price is playing above 830 open here on on ES. And Q is already um, far away from 830. It should eventually hold this level here. Um, this gap here, especially this one here, this one may act as a breakaway gap. So I'm not expecting price to come here before it reaches these relative equal highs. It might visit this one here, but not this one here at 930 open. I believe we will eventually retrace a little bit lower um, from here in this place. Once again, it can eventually happen like this, or price can eventually hold inside this order block and yeah, and still move to the upside, just like it's doing right now. So quick, this was a quick move to the upside, honestly. Really good. Just let me check here. Yeah, I was just checking for some type of SMTs here on in between ES and NQ. But yeah, those SMTs were not that clean as well. Yeah, the drawn liquidity was kind of clean here, but this action wasn't that clean for me, honestly. I didn't like how ES performed here right at the first presented fair value gap. That's why I didn't took anything and was just looking for tape reading it. Mm-mm. Let me just check the 15-minute here. Yeah, just to see those lows. Hmm. Let me just check NQ here on the lower time frames. So the first drawn liquidity is already taken by NQ, but we still have some here to the upside as well. So I believe price will still run, eventually taking out these relative equal highs here as well. So it's just a matter of time, I believe. If not, then it would be somehow strange to see those relative equal highs being left out. Let's go back to ES. So ES still has those relative equal highs here as well. I'm curious to see what happens as soon as we take these relative equal highs, because then eventually a bearish plan would start would start to happen, and that is what I'm really looking for, is something to happen after this liquidity is taken. If nothing happens, I will sit on my hands and yeah, and be content with it, because yeah, the read on price was kind of perfect. I knew that price would come to these relative equal highs, just like I mentioned in the first minutes of the stream. But since my main bias is kind of bearish, uh, I was not um, I was not enticed to give it a chance to any type of blocks. Let me just check the regular trading hours as well. Yeah, we have a huge gap here. This is a huge gap because because the market just closed earlier on the 1st of September, and that's why we have this huge gap. So price run to the upside. It's now inverting this last fair value gap. If this would have happened here on the upside, then I would consider some kind of a bearish scenario. But since we still have these relative equal highs, nah, I think it's too early, and I think that price will still run a little bit more. And looking into ES and NQ, you can see that we have some type of an SMT in between these lows. So yeah, I'm still inclined to see another run to the upside, and not to see a reversal yet. Yeah, but on the other hand, I'm looking I'm looking here, and I can see that NQ already took these highs. So there's an SMT here. Kind of interesting here, honestly. I think it's a bit early for shorts, but let's see. And Q already took the liquidity that I was waiting this one right here. Yeah, but I don't see any type of speed on NQ. We still have 830 open here, which can act as a support on price as well. Yeah, there's a weak follow through on NQ. Price is just wicking. Let's just see if it gains some momentum now. But yeah, it's wicking here. So 830 open it is acting as a support here on ES, and yeah, it might project price for another run to the upside. That's why I think that's still early for shorts, despite NQ already took these relative equal highs here. I would rather wait for ES to take them as well, and then eventually look for an inversion type of setup. So price kind of stalled here. Let's just wait a bit more. There we go. I think that price will do another run here. Will not interact with it, but that was what I was expecting on price. I think it will happen. It's just a matter of some minutes. Interesting here. Will this be the follow through to the downside, or just some red candle, just a random red candle to entice some more shorts? Let's just see. Anyways, I will not engage with, if a short happens here. I think I will not engage because I still have these relative equal highs here, despite despite NQ already taking those. It kind of reached for the 15-minute breaker, the NQ, and yes, it's still behind a bit. Mm. Order block here. It seems like it's a bit cleaner now, the short idea on NQ as well. So the idea would be something like this. If we manage to stay below 8:30 open. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be a plus setup. If you look into the 15-minute time frame, yeah, price just tapped the 15-minute fair value gap, and it's now reacting to it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like one of those shorts that I would like to take. See, 8:30 acting as support here. Another tap into the fair value gap here. I think this was just a maneuver to trap more sellers. And price it will eventually rip to the upside, eventually taking relative equal highs. I don't think that this is a safe spot to open short, honestly. But let's just see. Yeah, this short, I don't think it will work. I'm not shorting anything, as you can see. It's just the schematics here, but I don't think this will play out for those who are trying to short the market yet. I think ES needs to take out some more liquidity first, and then we can eventually think on shorting. This is not, for me, this is not an A plus scenario here, an A plus setup. Even if we deliver lower, I don't think that this is a plus setup. Um, it needed to have some type of fair value gap here on the downside, just to for me to trust it. And there's no fair value gap here. There's no fair value gap. It's just a breaker. Um, yeah, you can eventually take this as a breaker, as a bearish breaker. Uh, and for me to be considered as a plus setup, it needed to have some type of fair value gap holding the bearish scenario and the bearish narrative here. It's just nah. I will take my hands out of the trigger. Meanwhile, it's interesting to see that meanwhile ES and NQ is making a new SMT here as well, which is interesting because I think that NQ right now is trying to push ES to the upside. So there's no need to consider a short yet, I believe. We could eventually consider a long if price delivers a fair value gap here, or you can eventually consider a long on a retest here, just like this. And your entry would be somewhere here. But yeah, I don't think that it would be, I don't think it would be that that good of a risk to reward scenario. A partial needed to be taken out here, and eventually a runner until these relative equal highs. But I don't know if we will hit these highs here on ES. Just let me project a bit price here. Yeah, -4 standard deviation stands for the midpoint of the analog. And this standard deviation, it's quite accurate, as you can see. So price run to minus 2.5 standard deviation. It corrected and retraced back to -1. And it's now trying to eventually run a little bit more to the upside here on ES, but I need to see some real displacement to the upside just to believe that we will head higher. Yeah, so far, nice tape reading session. But honestly, we just had about 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just a couple of minutes of action, honestly. So the NY New York AM session, I could resume it for just about 10 minutes of action, and we are here for about 1 hour already. So I was expecting something like this, honestly. As I was telling you in the first minutes of the stream, I was expecting something hard to trade since we expanded on London, and the expansion was on pre New York Open as well. So yeah, I didn't believe that we would have a good price action, and it's showing its hand, honestly. So see, there was no displacement to the upside here, not driving price to the upside. So this is, well, now it's an inversion type of fair value gap. The midpoint of it, it's being respected almost to the tick. And now I'm curious to see if price wants to run once again to the upside, or if it will come back down, because yeah, it seems a bit weaker on ES. And Q is it's holding much better. But not liking how price is acting here, honestly. So we are below 830 open. And Q also losing the fair value gap that was projecting price to the upside. So at this point, it's kind of tricky, because yeah, I was really expecting for ES to come for these relative equal highs here, and it didn't. So we are retesting this fair value gap that I mentioned before. On the 15-minute, if you look into the 15 minutes, you can see that we are just doing some type of a retrace into a 15-minute fair value gap. So I don't know. Not the type of scenario that I like, honestly. Let's just see. So we have this bearish fair value gap, which is right above 830 open. So for a bearish point of view, I don't want to see price coming back above the midpoint of this bearish fair value gap. It is kind of acceptable for price to retest this bearish one, but I don't want it to come above and try to revert it, just like it's doing. See, this is the type of price action that I usually don't like. So that's why I decided not to take anything yet. See, I could see a lot of people trying to short this and getting wrecked, because yeah, if you look into the 15-minute, you are shorting right inside of a 15-minute bullish fair value gap. So at this point, maybe ES needed to take out this liquidity here, retest once again this fair value gap, and now we can eventually consider a long position here. We have some displacement, we have basically anything that's needed for an A plus setup. Let me just check here. So yeah, this is the breaker that we needed for a bullish narrative. Right below we have the fair value gap holding the breaker as well and helping the breaker to hold. Right in between ES and Q, there's an SMT. So yeah, things seem to be lined up for a bullish setup. We have this inversion here as well. Yeah, I believe the next couple of minutes will deliver something like this. But the breaker needs to hold here. If we come back below the breaker once again, yeah, then this is a high resistance run, and yeah, I'm not participating on anything like that. Retesting the breaker, it came a little bit lower here for a retest inside the fair value gap. Yeah, the market is kind of slow here. We'll mark this SMT here as well. Yeah, it seems it will eventually work since we have these relative equal highs here on the upside. Yeah, but as you can see, the move is it's quite slow. Retesting once again. Yeah. Yeah, this is the type of run that will take you probably a lot of mental capital. Uh, Once again, retested the breaker. Yeah, 10 minutes since we identified this long setup, but as you can see, it's not delivering. And Kyo turning back once again. If ES loses once again, um, this fair value gap and starts to deliver lower, then I guess we will head a little bit lower first and seek for more liquidity, um, or it is just waiting for the macro. It can eventually be waiting for the 1050 macro as well. It should have it should been delivering already. That's why I did not engage with anything, because yeah, this price action here is too thick for me, and I don't like to participate in anything like that. That's why I decided not to give it a chance on longs here. I was expecting a fast run to the upside, but it's now retesting once again the breaker. Probably waiting for 1050, but you are if you have taken this trade, you were about 10 minutes in, and yeah, so far drawdown. See, price returning, returning to the inversion here. And it's not the long plan. It's not working as we would like to see it work. We needed some other displacement candle here, and it never gave us the displacement candle that I would have liked to see. Yeah, once again coming back to close to 8:30 open. This can be eventually a high resistance where price will follow its draw, but it will do something like this. And yeah, that's horrible to be in, honestly. I prefer to have these clean runs here and not be involved in anything that's high resistance. Yeah, I'm glad I did not open anything. I said from the beginning that I was not engaging with I had no intention to engage with longs. But if this would have been a clean setup and an A plus setup, I would probably have given the chance. But yeah, I don't believe it's worth it, honestly. See, at this point, I would probably get get stopped out. Yeah. See, yeah, I'm glad I did not take anything. That's for sure. Nice job. I'm glad I decided to sit on my hands and yeah, just observe. Even for shorts, it's not that good because yeah, there's still these relative equal highs here. And on a 15-minute time frame, you can see that the market um, can eventually be here for a while and start to do some type of high resistance consolidation, something like this. And yeah, that's not good to be in, honestly. Yeah, so far I'm glad I did not take anything. Um, was able to maintain calmness and cold blood, and just to see what the market could eventually give us. Conditions were not perfect, so that's why. I believe a lot of people. I believe a lot of people tried some longs here, and were burnt. I will not engage with shorts as well, since we didn't came. Price did not go for any type of premium. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we were a bit on premium here, but I don't believe that's enough. And since price is now in between 9:30 open and 8:30 open, yeah, it can stay inside this range. It can be a horrible New York AM session. So we still have 15 minutes before 11. So we have 5 minutes before 10:50 macro as well. Let's see if 9:30 open and this breakaway gap um, will act as a support here, or if price will just go to the downside without any hesitation. Let me just check the 1 hour. Yeah, the 1 hour. Yeah, the 1 hour chart. It's also prone to be a consolidation type of chart. It can eventually. I would not say that this is a consolidation phase if we get a hard displacement to the downside, taking all these all these lows here. But otherwise, we can expect some back and forth here. Yeah, price still heading to the downside here. Seems like it will retest once again the first presented fair value gap here. But honestly, not liking how price is trying to stop here as well. Yeah, not my cup of tea, this price action, honestly. I think this is not the type of environment that I like to trade. So 1050 macro, the macro is in. Let's just see what the macro can bring us. Mm. Rejection here, 930 open, being rejected as well. But yeah, there's barely any follow through on these moves. So not not that convinced that price will eventually head lower for now. Let me just check the 1 and 2 minute here. Yeah, the 2 minute. Mm. Yeah, it kind of offered a breaker here, but the breaker never got retested on 3 minutes. The same here. Yeah, I don't think I missed much here, honestly. 10 handles. Yeah, I don't think I missed much. I was expecting a consolidation type of price action right through New York AM session. Yeah, price did run to the upside a bit in between 10 minutes, but yeah, that was just the only action that happened. Otherwise, this is garbage. And and yeah, this move to the downside, it was kind of strange because it left liquidity here, it left these highs here as well. Um, yeah, it was kind of tricky. I would I would never engage in this type of short. Uh, Despite in Q, and yeah, this was the SMT that I was looking for. NQ already did take this liquidity here. It was an SMT, but yeah, I don't think I would have participated in this short on other any type of way. See prices now trying to do anything here. We can have a reversal type of macro eventually, or a continuation type of macro. Let me just check. Let me just see how price can eventually be at. So it's at -1 standard deviation here. Should have done it before, because this projection is quite accurate as well. So as you can see, these levels, yeah, -2 standard deviation stands for the old lows. But yeah, well, at this point, I'm content that I have not engaged with anything. Um, Otherwise, I would have been in drawdown eventually with this long here that I was expecting here. We had some SMTs here. We were inside the 15-minute fair value gap, but it didn't work, and I'm glad I did not take anything at that point. Hmm. Yeah, see, price is trying to get once again above. Will this be a reversal type of macro? Will it? I don't know. I feel like I'm not trusting the market right now. But yeah, we are about almost 2 hours in, I think. Yeah, 1 hour and 43 minutes. So yeah, I believe that I will end the I will end it soon. I think I will be here until the macro is over, and then I will end the stream. I don't think that there will be price action prone to be traded. So let me just check the 2 minute here. Yeah, at this point, I would like to see price come a little bit higher eventually for this 2 minute order block and then display slower. I would not take anything here because we still have a lot of imbalances here to the upside. Let me just check the 3 minutes. Yeah, we have one, two, three fair value gaps, bearish ones, and we have this order block. So I would only take any some sort of short position if the market decides to run up to this order block and then eventually displace lower. Um, Otherwise, opening a short position here, I don't think it should be that great because price can eventually start to dig a little bit higher and go and try to go for that those imbalances here. So we have a breaker once again, a bearish one. Let's see if price. Um, let's see if price closes below. Um, Fell short here on this bearish order block. Yeah, we had this bearish order block here. It kind of fell short to it. Yeah, seems like we will have some follow through here. Let's see if price respects this bearish fair value gap. This is another bearish order block here. So this should be respected and price should eventually do something like this here. So this could be the setup for the next leg to the downside. But since we are outside the 11 a.m. hour, will not engage with it. Let me just do something here. So this was the manipulation leg to the upside. Yeah, it formed a order block right here at the -1 standard deviation. So this could be a valid setup here, and probably price does not need to come here, since on the lower time frames it kind of delivered quite well. Just curious to see if price will eventually hit um, this fair value gap or the order block. Yeah, at this point, price is trying to get above, probably trying to reach for this fair value gap or eventually the order block. Still trying to reach here. Not a push. Yeah, it's kind of slow here. Still waiting for that push to the upside. Yo, Athena, you just earned a block. So goodbye. There we go. That push to the upside, reacting quite quickly. Yeah, this seems to be the most logical setup for the rest of the morning here. But yeah, I think it's time for us to say goodbye, since we are already in it for about 2 hours. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it, guys. This would be until minus 2.5 standard deviation eventually. On the 15-minute, it seems quite quite doable. But at the same time, if you look into NQ, the 15-minute, it can eventually be here for some more time. This could be eventually the generation of more liquidity or something like this. Yeah, because I don't see any speed here. And if you look into new lows, if you're expecting new lows, you you want to see some aggression here and not this type of slow move. So yeah, I will leave this here. Will not engage with this short. I think this is a setup, not an A plus setup, but it is a setup. It would be an A plus setup if it gives us some type of speed here. Um, but yeah, I will not. I don't think it's worth it right now, because it can come here to the first presented fair value gap and it can retrace once again higher. Uh, no, now there comes the speed. Yeah, now comes the speed. So yeah, this could have been the trade of my trade of the day. So, but I did not take it honestly. I think we I think the market has the possibility or the probability to stay in a zigzag here for some more time, and I'm not willing to engage in those types of environments. So that's why I did not take anything here. So yeah, guys, I will end the stream here. Thank you for being there. I will be back tomorrow. Let's see if tomorrow we will engage in something or not. This was the first actual stream right after a big break, almost a 1 month break. So I was not in a rush to take any trades. Was more inclined to taste the market and see how it is behaving. And yeah, I guess the read was fine. The only thing that was not that clean was this long here, the possibility to go for these relative equal highs. But other than that, yeah, I was expecting a move higher since the first minutes of the stream. It did happen. Did not engage with it because yeah, my bias was kind of bearish, and yeah, we ended up being bearish for the rest of the session. And yes, this would have been the trade that I would engage with, but I did not take it because yeah, I was at the end of my trading session, so I tried to stay disciplined to it. And yeah, even if it gives me the opportunity to engage in something, I will not engage with those temptations. So yeah, I believe we will move lower eventually to sell side liquidity here, which I pointed since the beginning of the stream. But I also believe that it can do a big retrace as soon as we hit -2 standard deviation or -2.5 standard deviation. So if you're taking this position, keep in mind that you should eventually take some profits as soon as we hit these lows, and protect your position as soon as you take some profits as well, because it can do something like this as soon as we hit -2 standard deviation. It can run once again to the upside, taking out this liquidity, taking out these highs, and then, and only then, reaching for the major sell side liquidity here. So it's not a lean setup to the downside. Keep that in mind. So yeah, guys, thank you very much. Hope to see you guys tomorrow at the same time, in between 9:15 to 9:30 New York local time. It was a pleasure, and see you guys tomorrow. Keep keep safe, and yeah, thank you very much for being there. See ya.